Brooklyn, Queens, New York, raised as a New York City kid, born in Puerto Rico. Decided to join the Air Force, just looking for something different. Living in New York, the concrete jungle, you don't really see the world too much, and so decided joining the Air Force would allow me to see the world and do something different. Husband, my wife Susie, she's also an airman. She's sacrificed a lot to allow me to do the things that I've done in my career. Overall, I've served most of my career as an aerial porter, port doc, proud and wear that as a badge of honor. Before this, I was the 459th Airfield Wing Command Chief, served there for about a year and a half. It was an amazing time, was sad to leave, developed some great bonds, relationships with the airmen there. But looking forward and have looked forward to taking on this position. Yeah, I think number one is to just help develop, the force for today's challenges and that future fight. That future fight has been on everybody's radar. We're hoping to never have to get into that fight. But for me, it's, what are we doing to prepare our airmen for that fight and provide that deterrence? We talk about nuclear deterrence, but for me, our airmen are also deterrents. And if our airmen are ready, capable, willing to be there for that fight, I think that will deter the enemy, number one. And so I think getting them ready for that challenge, I think it's important. The other thing is a goal of mine is to develop a cohesive NAF enlisted force development strategy. So within the next month or so, we're going to bring some command chiefs out there. We're going to sit down and talk and look at force development within our NAF. Are we hitting certain metrics? We're going to look at the enlisted force development action plan that came down from the CMSAF and the CSAF. There were some action items that were out there, and I want to make sure that we are doing everything within our wings to hit some of those action items, to hit some of those do-outs, to hit some of those milestones. I think that's important. And the last thing we're going to look at is retention of the force within our NAF. And so overall in AFRC, and across the Air Force, we do a great job in recruiting airmen. We don't do as good of a job in terms of retaining the force. We lose first-term airmen at a little bit of a too high of a clip. What I want to look at is figure out what's the why. What's driving airmen to leave after that first term. For me, it's airmen watch the commercial. They see the great things that they're going to do. And for some reason within that first term, that commercial just doesn't come true for them. And so we're going to look at that and what are the things that we can do to engage the force? What are the things that we can do to retain that asset? So those are the priorities that I'm hoping we get after during that sync. I think number one is, be proud. Be proud to wear the uniform. Take pride in being an Air Force airman. There are a lot of individuals, a lot of airmen who have sacrificed for us to be able to wear this uniform. For me, excellence in all we do, it shouldn't be words. It should be a way of life. The second thing is, stay professional at all times. We work in the profession of arms, and I think sometimes we forget that. We have our specialties, be it if you're a maintainer, if you're a personnelist, or if you're a flyer. For me, that's secondary to our profession. And so staying professional means, honoring that code of conduct, honoring our foundation, our core values, honoring our discipline, our bearing. Just like a house foundation, that's our foundation. If that fails, if that rots, everything else goes. If you can't be trusted to do the little things, I'm not sure if we can trust you to do the big things. And we ask you to do some really amazing things. Our enlisted airmen, fix $1 million aircraft. They work on our most important weapon system, which is our airmen. And in order for us to be able to trust them to do that, we have to trust that they have that foundation that's solid, that's rooted in core values and discipline and custom. So I think for me, that second priority is important. Stay professional at all times. I'm excited to be a cog in this organization. 34,000 airmen, 18 wings, 1 DRU. What we've done over the last couple years, responded at a moment's notice to OAR and OAW, providing that necessary airlift. And then again, having airmen deploy to Task Force Liberty and welcome a lot of those allies, provide them the refuge that they need. That's just exciting, and to be a part of that is awesome. We talk about the last couple years, and we look at what we did in terms of responding to COVID, not just the airmen responding and vaccinating the force at a moment's notice, but also providing those resources out there to the local communities, be it our nurses or our med techs, helping at the height of COVID. That's amazing. And so for me, I'm excited to be a part of that organization. I'm just excited, what we're going to do going forward, again, in preparation for that future fight.